Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Weddings Unscripted.
We are
back. Today we got an episode that hopefully will be a little bit inspirational and
a little heart to heart.
A little heart to heart. We're going to talk a little bit more about kind of our own business journeys. I know we've kind of covered this a bit in the past, but we want to talk a little more about what, we've been feeling lately of what's been going on in our lives and our businesses and things that we're noticing and things that can hopefully help you on your business journey, because it's tough to be a business owner. It is not a walk in the park.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some really great days, but let's face it, there's a lot of really hard days that, nobody talks about. And I feel like people in your real world think just this glamorous.
I mean, you work for yourself, so you just like work whenever you want
to. All day.
Take naps whenever you feel like it.
When you want.
I'm pretty sure my parents still don't even know how I make money, actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't understand this. And they don't understand too sometimes that oh, but you can just like take care of the kids all day and then just squeeze in some work when you need to. And I'm like, I mean, in theory, but it's definitely a lot harder than that.
Have legit clients that
to run a really
legit money to do stuff. Yeah.
Like I have to actually run a business and have time to do it. So that's always a challenge. But
the fact that they're real businesses and not hobbies. Play on your computer. I saw something funny. Somebody was looking for some help, like an intern or something. I can't remember what their business was, but it was in the creative industry. And somebody commented and said, oh, my 13-year-old daughter, she'd be happy to help. You can put her to work. She's good on the computer. And I'm like
if you're trying to build like a 5 or 6 figure or 7 figure revenue generating business, like you're not going to hire a 13-year-old to run stuff
right on that keyboard
because they're good on a computer.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are, because they're all grew up in a different world than we did. However, that's not always going to get you the results you want. But,
exactly.
But why don't you share, Ginny, some stuff that's been going through your head recently when it comes to the journey of your business?
Yeah. So, my business is in a different transition. Well, not really a transition, just a different phase of life at the moment. Just had the second babe, as you know. So I was really intentional with the types of clients that I booked this year. I'm really excited about the clients that I'm working with, but because I didn't want to be overworked or inundated, it really made me take a hard look at my ideal client and to really navigate those waters really carefully. So I really am in a place where I'm only working with my ideal clients, and it's really, really great, but I wasn't always here. And I feel like when you're in that transition of still working with non-ideal clients and leading into it, but you still need to make money, right?
Right.
You can't just say no to money.
Otherwise you don't have a business.
And I feel like I've had this conversation with a lot of clients, some of our former students who have gone through our program, and they have really made that transition themselves, but it's really hard to say no to money. And I think just really paying attention to looking at where you came from, but also keeping your eye on where you want to be and not getting caught up in the fact that you're not there yet, because you will be there, and keeping your eye on the end goal and allowing yourself that space in order to get there, but being very realistic about it. Absolutely, I don't want you to not pay your mortgage. But, just still being very realistic about how you're making that transition and really how you're putting yourself out there online. What are you doing differently to promote your business to that ideal client versus to all the clients that maybe were inquiring with you and booking with you and navigating that transition. But a lot of, I feel like I wanted today's episode to be about is really to encourage you guys to not get caught up in getting stuck in the shoulda, woulda, coulda. Should have done this in my business. I wish I was doing this, but I'm not doing this. Just do it. Why aren't you? Just ripping off the tape and giving yourself permission, because nobody else is more deserving of having a dream life and a dream business than you are. And that includes me, and that includes Kristin, that includes all of you out there. And I feel like for me and Kristin, and I know we've talked about this before, we feel like we didn't dream bigger soon enough.
Yeah, I agree. And I think my sort of current situation is definitely different than Ginny's, but also very similar. And first, I love what you said about, in a way, you were kind of forced in the past year to start really getting clear on your ideal client. And it took like sort of the second baby and the next maternity leave for you to get like, all right, no, I really got to be serious about this. And sometimes it happens like that you're sort of, you know, given that big nudge
and
to like, no, I got
it, because you're like completely drained and overworked.
Yeah. Right. So sometimes these things will crop into your life. And I think if you look at it not as like, oh, this is a big problem, but instead look at it like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to get clear on my ideal client and start only working with those people rather than, you know, any other way that you could think about it. And for me, you know, I'm in this place where my children are, you know, still very young, but like I don't have a teeny tiny baby right now. So I'm trying to sow a lot of seeds in my business. And I think the thing that I have been getting tripped up on for the last year as I make the transition from wedding planner to, you know, completely to like creative online business owner, is I look at other people a lot that are further along in the online business space than I am, but have less years in business than I do technically. And I was getting I was having a lot of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, like, well, what the heck? Why am I not as far along as them? Because I've technically been a business owner longer and yada, yada, yada. And I should be further along by now. But then I have to remind myself that number one, I took time off to have three children at three different times. Right. So every time that was three. So every time that happened, it was kind of, I want to say a step back, but just sort of a pause, kind of taking the foot off the gas for a while, like as each child happened. And
needed to stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there was that. And then two, I have to remind myself that my planning business was a different business than my online business. Like they're actually kind of built on slightly different models. And so while I have 10, 11 years experience, you know, planning weddings and running that business, like I still have stuff absolutely to learn in the creative online space about just running a business solely based on consulting and informational products and that sort of thing. So that's kind of been my sort of coulda, shoulda, woulda thing that I have to remind myself is that, you know, I am running my own race and I don't need to get caught up in what everyone else is doing and worry too much about it, and know that like, yeah, I've also, you know, other people, I'm comparing myself to a business that they might not have 3 kids. They may not run half marathons like I do. They may not have these other things that they're trying to accomplish. And so my business is different, and that's okay. And I'm going to build it in the way that I want to build it.
Right. That brings me to a really good point that I just realized. So Kristin and I both had completely different businesses.
Yeah, when we started.
When we started, and we outgrew it. So, you know, embrace the transition.
Yes.
I definitely feel like I am more drawn to my bigger purpose as to what I'm doing now and not what I started in. Yeah. But it took me a long time to let go of what I started out with because I was holding it on to it for emotional reasons. Like it was my first.
You were for a while. It took you a while to let go of that blog.
Yeah. I was like, all those hours.
No, I'm just going to keep it for longer.
Yeah. So it's just like, so trust your gut, you know, don't hold on to something for emotional reasons. If you feel yourself just in a natural transition, even if, you know, you're still within your niche, your offerings may be a little bit different. What you're providing, your client experience, your level of client experience could be exponentially different than when you started.
Yeah. So lean into that and don't be scared to take risks when it comes to that stuff, because that's part of the business journey is these little transitions and how they map things out along the way. And I think that's where Ginny and I are getting more comfortable with leaning into those types of transitions and those pivots and like seeing where they go and taking a little bit of a leap of faith every time, as opposed to holding on tight to the past or the way things were or all of that stuff. And I think it's something that in your business you should take a look at, especially this time of year, I feel like too, where we all set those big goals in January and then everything looks a little different sometimes come June, July.
Yeah, here we are, we're right smack in the middle of the year.
Yeah. So if things have changed or your business or journey or ideal client or things are looking a little different than 6 months ago or a year ago, that's okay. Lean into it. See where that's going to take you next and kind of trust in the process and trust in the journey, because it's a journey.
It's definitely a long journey.
It's a journey. That's like if anything Ginny and I have learned.
Yeah. And, make sure you surround yourself with people that are going to support your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Confide in someone and saying, this is where I am now. This is where I really want to be. Help hold me accountable.
Yes.
These are the things I'm going to do to make those changes. Don't just talk about it. Make a plan.
Yeah.
You can't do everything. I think
that's a key thing too.
You can make a plan.
Yes. I love the term inspired action. It's one of my favorite terms lately. It's this idea of, yes, you can, there is definitely this element of intuitiveness and trusting your gut and taking risks and all of that. But at the end of the day, you actually have to take action. Like you actually have to take steps to get to where you want to go. And so if you're sort of leaning into a new direction and saying, I might actually want to not go where I thought I wanted to go, and I actually want to lean in and go over here, great. Or if you're suddenly dreaming bigger in your business, awesome. But with that said, now you have to take inspired action and actually do things to get you there and not just be like, and now I'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah. And don't worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah. Take your own inspired action.
Yeah. This is your life.
Map out your steps that you need to take to get to where you want to go. And like we said, take risks. I think Ginny and I are getting to be more and more risk takers in our business and trying new things and seeing what happens. And
real risky.
Yeah. And if it fails, it fails. Don't do that next time. Like it's not,
we've had launches.
Yes. It's not going to be perfect. Every step in your business isn't going to be perfect. So lean into those transitions and those changes. And
well, this is what we should do next time. You learn, just test something, tweak it as you go.
Yes.
From it.
You learn by doing, not by sitting on your butt and watching other people.
Right. Because you don't know. The internet is fake.
Yeah. You can learn a little, but you're really going to learn by diving into something. I mean, when I look back, which side note on YouTube, I'm hoping to bring back my YouTube channel, but like I tried that last year and then I got overwhelmed with it and then I stopped doing it. But you know what? I know a heck of a lot about YouTube now that I didn't know before and about strategy, which I wouldn't have learned just by absorbing information on it. I learned that by doing, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, and that's fine. So this year I'm relaunching it with a different direction and a different mindset and a whole different kind of concept because now I've learned something from it.
Right.
Awesome. So don't think of all the failure or like, oh, I don't want to waste time on this because it might not work out. Like that's life. It's business.
Now we're going to hold you accountable because Kristin just said she's revamping the YouTube channel.
I know. Now I got to do it. Dang it. But
don't go editing this out.
I know. Like I never said that.
Yeah.
But we'd love to know what you're up to in your business. So leave us a comment and let us know what transitions you're leaning into or a big dream or idea that you've been having, but maybe not taking inspired action on because you're afraid of failure or, you're doing the woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. Let us know what that is. We like to hold you accountable and help cheer you on in your journey towards it.
We want you guys to know like this is a safe, supportive, help you up kind of community. And we want to hold you accountable and lift you up when you need that kind of
So if you're ready to tackle that new ideal client or add that new service that you've been dreaming about, go for it.
And if your new service is completely different than what everybody else is doing and you think that it's weird and out of the box, then it's probably great and amazing.
That's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, also don't be afraid to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. And we're excited to talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.